Okay, hi. We're on. Hello. So, this is going to be me trying to play Fate again, from the beginning. It's out officially now, so we're gonna give it a shot. I'll be doing all the voice acting, I guess, or reading. It's reading. We're reading. We're reading a novel. A novel with visuals. A visual novel. Thank you, Dutch Now, for being first. And hello, everyone. Let's give this a shot. Let me get my light in order. Good. Okay. And I will switch over. Fucking Chubis! Cello! You've got a bit of an edge on you tonight. What's up? Is everything okay? Okay, that's good. I'll, mute the music. Okay, good. And start the video game. Yep. Type Moon. They make a lot of games, don't you know? This game is a work of fiction. Names and groups represented in this game are either the product of the author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to... Yeah. No, I do not want to resume from the literal first line. It's a reference to when Japanese ads started adding fucking to their product because they thought it was a compliment. Fucking! Okay. The tip of the sword was like a flash of lightning, a spearhead thrust to skewer the heart. Even attempting to evade it was pointless. It was but a flash, too swift for the human eye to follow. And yet, moonlight swept in to save me from the strike that threatened to end me. The sound was beautiful, like the tolling of a bell. No, truth be told, the sound hung over me, heavier than an iron weight. This beauty had little to do with aesthetics. The stark armor wrapped around her was like the night, frozen. The frozen night itself. The ringing was not in itself pleasant. It was the sound of steel. But the night herself was beautiful enough to make it into the chiming of a bell. And the music is a bit loud compared to the voice acting. We can fix that. Wow. I'm shocked. To be honest. Alright. I ask of you, are you my master? Her voice resonated in the darkness. I have come in response to your summons. Henceforth, my blade is with you, and your fate with me. Our pact is now sealed. Indeed, the pact was sealed. Just as she chose to serve me. I'm sure, in that moment, that I swore to save her. The moonlight cut through the darkness. As if in imitation of the night, the storehouse regained its former calm. Time had stopped. The vision before me had lasted less than a second. Be that as it may, I will always remember the sight of her, as clearly as if it were still happening now, even if I fall into the depths of hell. The faint slant of her profile, her serene, divinely green eyes. For a moment, time stopped, and her silhouette, draped in blue, swayed in the wind. For reference, like, what's happening? What's going on? Are we good? There's blood on your shirt, dude. You might want to, like, clean that up. I was struck by the pale blue glow. Her hair, as fine as golden thread, was bathed in moonlight. Fate. This happened 10 years ago. I see someone who takes me back. He's tall, with chiseled features. I've never known him to crack a joke. He ruffles my hair affectionately. No, that's not what this is. It's more like he's grasping my head and working it like a stubborn jar lid. Maybe he doesn't know how to control his strength. It's only to be expected. It's the first time he's ever done something like this. It's time for me to leave. You know what to do next. I answered yes, in a somber voice. He nodded once, withdrew his hand, and stood up. That's all. Had I known this would be the last time we would ever see each other, I would have done my best to make him laugh at the perfect joke. I'd been practicing punchlines in private, in the hopes of finally seeing a smile crack that stony face. If I have one regret, it's that I never got to tell him any of my jokes. Get the association in your debt before you become an adult. Any decisions after that, I leave up to you. I'm sure you'll manage on your own. So he said, but I bet he was worried about me. He'd told me about our family's heirloom jewels, the gems passed down to us from our Grand Master, and how to manage the underground workshop. It was a rapid-fire course of subjects he'd never taught me before. Even as a child, I realized that he would probably never come home again. There was a war. Not a war between countries, but between people. But in this war, there were only 7 combatants. It might not have seemed fitting to call it a war, but having mages involved changes things. 7 mages from different factions competed, but I wasn't sure why. They killed each other using methods I didn't really understand. One of them was the man in front of me. It meant that he would kill and eventually be killed. I'm sure he felt the ticking of life's clock even more keenly than I did. Rin. Before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tasakas to obtain it. But above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. And with that, he ruffled my hair one last time and left. I never saw him again. My father/teacher was one of the masters who participated in the Holy Grail War. He never came home. Safe travels, father. I bid him farewell, as a well-behaved daughter should. I knew I was on the verge of tears, but I didn't let them show. I loved him. He was a great father, and an even greater mage. Mages are stubborn people, As far as I knew, there wasn't a more upstanding man in the whole world. As my instructor, he trained me. As my father, he loved me. So, I decided I'd accept the things he left for me and choose my own path. Rin, before long the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tasakas to obtain it. But above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. And then Titch shows up in the overlay and completely ruins the ambiance. Thank you, Tits. In the end, his final words for me were given as a mage, not a father. That's the moment I made up my mind. Alright, I guess I'd better do everything I can to become a worthy mage. Well, Cello, not only was Fate a game first, this is the first game. This is the remastered official release of the first game for its 20th anniversary. It was originally an Arrow game, but it is not anymore. It is an actual, honest-to-goodness, I'd say teen-rated visual novel. This is the start of the whole Fate franchise. The mobile game, the anime adaptations, the merchandise, the everything. All of that started here. You watched the first Fate anime, anything else you haven't? Is that the Unlimited Blade Works adaptation by Ufotable? Or the one by Studio Dean, like the old one? Or Fate Zero, also by Ufotable. There are a lot of previous starting points that are kind of vague. But this is the starting point. This is the very beginning of the whole IP. It's not the first game in the shared universe that Type Moon made that the writer Nasu has, but it is the very first game in the franchise, and the very first piece of media in the franchise. Alright, I guess I'd better do everything I can to become a worthy mage. It's only a natural for an apprentice to live up to her master's hopes. The one with the, some bitch that's spawned in a family house by a serial killer. Wow. He lets the boy go only to be murdered. That sounds like a Genarabuchi thing. That sounds like a Fate Zero thing. But you know what? You know what? We're gonna find out together, Cello. This is the very start. That's how I, Rin Tasaka, grew up after experiencing life's twists and turns. It's been 10 years since my father went off to war. I wouldn't say I've been looking forward to this day, but I'm a bit on edge. That goes without saying. After all, that moment which was burned into my memory 10 years ago will soon be upon me again. Oh no, I January 31st. I do not know everything. I hear something. Ring. Ring. Shut up. Stop. The noise doesn't stop. It's such an infernal racket. It's almost as if it's here to avenge my father. What now? I was up late. Just a little longer. I wish it had just let me sleep a bit more. In fact, it should. I stayed up into the early hours deciphering my father's will, and I used a hell of a lot of magical energy to do it. Yeah, no, this is so relatable. Rin, you are hashtag so me right now. Totally exhausted, body and mind. Good grief. Cut me some slack, would ya? Ring, 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 ring. The alarm clock is deaf to my complaints. What kind of machine makes a noise that seems like its sole purpose is to remind you that you're late? Late. It can't be late. True. But there's a time and a place for everything. No matter how much of an overachiever I am, I should try to make it to school on time, at least for today. If only slightly. Right. I set my alarm 30 minutes early, which means I should still be able to sleep another 30. Hmm? Doesn't that sound off? 30 minutes. Early. I peer at the alarm clock through sleep-heavy eyelids. The hands point to 7 o'clock on the dot. I usually get up at 6:30, which means I've completely used up my safety margin. Speaking of which, why is my brain so slow in the morning? I glare at the alarm clock for several seconds. I shut off the alarm and climb sluggishly out of bed. Damn, girl, you live like this? Chat. She lives like this. And the spot behind me is plain, even. It's Chubis friendly. She's got a Chubis friendly parlor. That's wild. That's pretty based. The morning chill bites at me as I cross the hallway and enter the parlor. It's the final 7 a.m. in January. Winters in Fuyuki are relatively warm. The mornings here are cold as anywhere. Even at home, my breath mists white. It's that much colder without anyone else living here. Heater. I turn on the heater and go wash up. Single living is so inconvenient at times like these. If there was someone else here to wake up before me, then the parlor would already be heated. I wash my face at the sink. I run a brush through my long hair and get dressed. A chilly morning in a frigid bathroom. The only thing to be said for it is that the cold water mercilessly beats the sleepiness from me. With a final tug on the ribbon at my collar, I finished getting dressed. All that's left is to have breakfast and go to school. The clock reads just past 7, so my morning rush feels a bit anticlimactic. I don't even need to run then. Of course, I never do anything so uncouth as sprinting to school. The Tasaka family motto dictates that we conduct ourselves with confidence and elegance at all times. My ancestors must have been some high and mighty aristocrats if that's what we've taught through the generations. The anachronistic mansion I live in is proof enough of that. Plus, the Tasakas are a line of spellweavers who practice what is known as magecraft. We're not just an old family. We have an admirably storied history. Not that it's anything to brag about. In fact, I literally can't talk about it. And the truth is, I'm a mage. Who could I even brag about that to? As the name suggests, magecraft is what most normal people would see as magic. It sounds like some supernatural woo-woo, and if you'd like to think of it as just wiggling your fingers and saying, abracadabra, that's fine too. Just think of us as people who chant weird words and make equally weird stuff happen. That said, We don't fly around on broomsticks. We don't shoot stars out of wands either. We can do things like that, but there's no point. So we don't. We're pretty much heretics who lurk in the shadows of society. We're not allowed to draw attention to ourselves, and anyone who has the time for that kind of thing would rather spend it on their research. Ordinary humans might call us magicians, but that would be wrong. In fact, there are only 5 magicians in the whole world. Magicians are what we call people who can do something no one else can. They can accomplish feats beyond the means of modern science and perform genuine miracles. Similarly, magic is the label we use for mystics, magical mysteries, that can't be realized without any amount of time or skill. Hi, Gab. You want me to be yassified while reading? How magecraft, though it looks mysterious, is something anyone can do with enough time and resources. Look, I can make magic happen. And I can do it in the fanciest or the most boring way. I'm a mage, and the kind of mystics I use are merely magecraft, not true magic. Thank you for the yassification, Cap. I will try and be a little bit more yassified for the next few minutes. Confusing, I know. Makes my head go whoosh, also. But that's how it works. Also, modern civilization doesn't accept the existence of mages. We believe in, manipulate, and study things that can't be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. Normies just wouldn't get it. Am I right, chat? Ugh. Above all, there's no point to any of what we do. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying magecraft. No. This is a port of the, originally the PlayStation 2 console release, Realta Nua, which is New Star, which replaced the NSFW stuff with honestly better, safer work stuff, like better written and better presented stuff, from what I've heard. Apparently the NSFW stuff from the original PC release is kind of like awful, like not good, like oh my god, how could a human write this, like holy crap, do you know the touch of a woman or a man or an NB, do you know the touch of another person in any way, kind of stuff. So that's not here. Is it naked butler level? I mean, like, if it makes you feel any better, I first thought you wrote naked butter. So, probably. I mean, like, I am not an expert on the, anything to do with this franchise. So, you're asking the wrong corgi, but yeah. I think I read this. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying magecraft. Than studying Minecraft. Yup. That's right. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than studying Dream SMP. Ugh. Cello, thank you so much for bringing your chicken into the cafe. Right now, your chicken is the beak of my sword. I'm trying to find a way that's gonna make this not end with the pun bony cock. And I'm finding a really hard time in my brain trying to wrap around to it. Turn to page 245, the history of Dream. Human technology has accomplished great things. It's also accomplished Dream SMP. That's how you introduce the section. Oh no. What the fuck? I am reading Fate. I am reading Fate in its entirety. It's officially out. I tried reading the fan translation originally, and then literally a few weeks later, they announced that there's a remaster coming, and it's coming in English. So I'm reading Fate. I am reading Fate Stay Night. And I will also read Hollow Ataraxia when it comes out. As a heads up, Chapter 1, the Manhunter era. Oh lord. Yeah, this game has really bad glitches on the Steam version at the moment. I thought they fixed them. Like, I didn't want to start until I knew... Like, I know there was a Japanese locale glitch, like, where it's trying to, like, access Japanese locale files even if you have English stuff. But I think they fixed that. But if there are still glitches, I won't get too... I'm not going to get too far tonight anyway, because I have work in the morning. But I wanted to at least get a stream out, because I feel really bad that I couldn't do Danganronpa yesterday. That's ostensibly why I really pushed for it. The sprites swap out characters for absolutely no reason. Oh lord. Well, we're gonna find out. Oh boy. Oof. Oof. Thank you for the head pat, Stilton. Human technology has accomplished great things. For the last few centuries, magecraft has been playing catch-up to the progress of civilization. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. Miracles that could only be realized with magecraft in the distant past have been reduced to common tools and appliances. Even so, magecraft does have its benefits, just as there are some things only science can accomplish. There remain heights only mystics can reach. Another streamer from another corner still needs to get started on the very first Danganronpa, if that helps you feel better. Oh, oof. Dutch, no, oof. I mean, don't Game Grumps still need to do V3? And I have started V3 already. And they had years to play to make sure I didn't catch up. But here we are. Let's see how long it takes for me to read through all 3 routes of Fate Stay Night without slowly ungoing. Oh no. If science is racing into the future, then mages are racing into the past. I think the Tosaka Grandmaster said that. Whether you're heading into the past or the future, your destination is the same. 0. Or something like that. No, that's a different part of the franchise. We'll get to that. We can shelve the difficult topics for now. Philosophy is for the elderly. Hey! 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 The moment you go into your 20s, it's like, oh, you're crumbling into dust. Rin, are you one of those, like, newfangled, oh, you're over the age of 21? Oh, why don't you just go back into your home? Are you one of those people, Rin? 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 It's fine. Anyways, back in the most bougie parlor. Finish my breakfast and pick up my bag. Right. Gotta bring my pendant. I'm reluctant to take something so valuable to school, but it would be a waste to leave it behind. I mean, this thing's 100 years old. It's by far the most powerful jewel we have. One could even say it's on an entirely different level. Ooh. I obtained the gem after decoding my father's will last night. It's imbued with 10 years' worth of my own magical energy. I've been told that the Tosaka family has heirloom jewels passed down since the olden days, and this might be one of them. Tosaka mages specialize at the conversion and flow of power. We channel our magical energy into precious gems whenever we have a spare moment. Simply put, I'm the gun, and the jewels are bullets. The other main thing I've inherited from my father is the magic crest engraved into my left arm. A magic crest is proof that I'm the heir to our lineage. It's like all of the techniques of the Tosaka, condensed into a tattoo. Can't let my guard down, even if it hasn't started yet. For now, I stow my pendant, my father's keepsake, in a pocket. It's my trump card. There's nothing I can't do with the power stored in there. It's 7:30. I'd better leave soon if I don't want to be late for school. Damn, Look, code 3. Dang. You just live in this bougie... Things I will never be able to even, like, look at. I weave energy into a brief foreign phrase. It's German, Rin. It's German. As a mage, I can't neglect the security of my home base. That still applies even if I've never had so much as a single burglar, lost child, or stray cat wander into my home. Actually, I don't think the neighbors have ever even come over to say hello. It's fine with me. But why don't I ever get any stray cats around here? I look up at the mansion that's been my home for over a decade. Fuyuki is a strange city. One side of the intersection dividing the residential areas is filled with old samurai estates, while the side I'm on has an abundance of mansions built in European style. Apparently, a whole bunch of foreign families immigrated here long ago, but I've never seen a single foreigner around. There's even a cemetery for foreigners in Shinto, the new part of the city, across the river, but it was built for the generation that immigrated here. Maybe Japan just didn't suit them. I make a mental note to ask the priest about it next time I visit the church. He's nothing if not full of boring trivia, for sure. Oh? Something feels off as soon as I step outside. That's weird. It's quieter than I thought. There's no trace of the typical morning bustle. At 7:30 in the morning, there would normally be students and workers on their daily commute. I guess it's just one of those days. Maybe everyone slept in. It's unusually cold today, so everyone must be snuggled up in bed. Still, though, even if that were true, it's strange that there isn't a single student on the street. At this time of day, you'd expect to see at least a school uniform or two. And yet, from where I'm standing at the school gate, it looks like morning club activities are just starting up. Which can only mean... Tosaka, you're awfully early today. I knew it. With a light sigh, I turned to face the student who called out to me. Good morning. Sure is cold today. The girl who addresses me so casually is Aiko Mitsuzuri. She's my classmate in 2A. She has quite a history. Morning, Mitsuzuri. And sorry for the weird question, but do you know what time it is? It's hydrate. Wait, why are the hydrates not bumping into me? Oh, because Tits never connected. Or K-Bonk never connected. Tits is fine. I'll redeem the head pad, or not the head pad, the hydrate again. Like, actually, it's on cooldown. I can't even do it, but I'll drink. Thank you. Thank you, Z Squirtle Turtle. Ugh. I don't know why drinking transported me into another reality, but here we are. And there's Ayako. It's not even 7 yet. You still asleep or something? She waves her hand in front of my face, as if to ask if anybody's home. Ayako is one of my few friends, and she knows I'm not a morning person. Look, when I say Tits is fine, I mean the Twitch integrated throwing system. You know what I mean when I say Tits. I'm glad you think Tits is fine too, Cello. I'm glad we can all come around Tits. come together around... God damn it! She's probably figured out by now that I'm still not completely with it. The clocks at home are an hour ahead. All of them, apparently. I thought it was just my alarm clock. The grandfather clock was off too. Are you really staying with your fate at night, son? Yes. In a remastered way, Inori. What's going on here? Father must have set the clocks to go haywire once I took the pendant out of the underground cellar. Tosaka. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Are you on your way to morning practice, Mitsuri? Did they fix it yet? I saw there was a patch note that they fixed stuff. Is there still stuff broken even after the patch? Is that what's going on? Because, like... That is Ayako. There she is. Yeah. There's a lot of troublemakers in the Kyudo Club. And we're down one of our best shooters. We need to put on a good show if we're going to attract first years in April. Let's see. Sounds rough. Might just show you care. Oh, wanna come see? I'm sure the boys would love to know you're watching. Kyudo Club, huh? I'm acquainted with 3 of its members. One is Ayako, the girl I'm talking to now. I barely ever speak to the other 2. Of those latter 2, there's one that I actually can't explain away as simply an acquaintance. I became friends with Ayako, the club captain, because I'd been watching the club from afar. Okay. As long as it's just watching, I'll come. It's not like I have anything else to do this early in the morning. Nice. Let's get going. One of our school's trademarks is its well-equipped archery range. The chair of the school board has a passion for Kyudo, traditional Japanese archery, so they built a magnificent range on campus. It's kind of a waste for a high school club, to be honest. Come on, let's go. There's still time before practice starts, so I'll get you some tea. Ayako tugs on my arm, looking somewhat pleased. If I'm being honest, her brusque way of speaking is a bad habit. As Ayako said, there's no one else at the range. We sip Japanese tea that's so hot it numbs my tongue as we prepare ahead for today's classes. The hot drink is delicious in the quiet, wintry archery range. Okay, I'll get right down to it. What's up with you today, Tosaka? Did you finally reel in someone good? And she uses the occasion to ask me something completely ridiculous. You're just getting straight to it today, hmm? Should I take that tone to mean you beat me to the punch? No comment. You're not showing your cards, then neither am I. So, how about it? You being so tired is anything to go by. I bet I'm right on the mark. Yes, yes, I will go ahead and drink. Even the range is Chubis friendly. There's nothing behind me but wall or floor and wall behind my ears. How come Type Moon made Fate so Chubis accessible? What's going on here? I think that's pretty crazy. Not complaining, mind you. Just, wow. Alright. Yeah. It's true. And thank you for the hydrate. No comment either. But I guess even if I tried to hide it, you'd see right through me. Sadly, not yet. What about you? Can you really afford to take your time on the romantic front? Not wrong. Things aren't looking too good. Sure, I could grab someone just for appearances, but quality matters, you know? I shouldn't compromise when my future's on the line. Does Neko art come in? Isn't that Tsukihime Inori? Isn't that a completely different game? Like a completely different game that I'm pretty sure isn't even out on PC yet. It's only on Switch and PS4. I feel like I'm like morally obligated to pick that one up and play through it because of how important Neko Arc is to all of it. Is this the Neko Arc? This is not the Neko Arc. It's in the same universe as the Neko Arc game. It's the same like setting as the Neko Arc game. No, this isn't. But no, this is not the Neko Arc game. I don't even. Is the character in this at all? Like I know characters don't. Isn't there some crossover? I don't know. But I don't think Neko Arc is in this one. I don't think. This is the one with King Arthur, but King Arthur's a girl. And that's pretty much the extent of what I know. Uh-huh. Are you multi-blood? Well, no, that's different. Astolfo... Yeah, Astolfo's from this universe. Is Astolfo in this game? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. Uh-huh. Are you that worried you'll make the wrong choice and lose to me? Oh, Astolfo's not in this video game. Alright. No Astolfo here. Astolfo, this is... You're right that Fate is the, like, Astolfo... Oh, I know. Your despair missed my head entirely. I'm sorry. I mean, I saw it fly by, but I did not feel it even a little. And I'm so sorry about that. Huh? Are you that worried? I've read this at least 3 times now. There's no way. There's no way. Obviously, the important thing here is that you lose to me. But I actually gained the process is secondary, really. She chuckles confidently. 2 peas in a pod. Yeah, I told you when we met that this is what it'd be like between us. She did, didn't she? Kill or be killed. I'm sure that's how it'll be between the two of us. I was genuinely surprised to have someone say that right off the bat. Translation. Our friendship won't bloom unless we're constantly trading blows. Is what Ayako is getting at. I agree with her. In the 2 years since then, I still haven't figured out whether she's my friend or my nemesis. 2 peas in a pod, 2 bullets in a mag, 2 cannibal midgets in a fat guy's ribcage. Cello! Cello! What? How did we get on this again? What? You started it, Tosaka. You complained that you never have a boyfriend, so we decided to make it a contest to see who catches one first, remember? Right. That was the deal. We said that whoever loses has to do whatever the winner says for a day, right? Yep. I don't think even kids make deals like this anymore, but we're both sore losers. No matter what happens, the loser has to honor the deal. Gotta say, I'm looking forward to winning. Ayako snickers in delight. Should play the fighting game again? Multi-Blooded Type Lumina, right? Is the newest one. I have that, and I've enjoyed it for the little time I've been able to play it. I wish I was better at fighting games than I am, but... It's pretty! Oh, you meant Ultimate Codes? Oh, I think I've heard about that one. I do not know what it looks like, let alone how it plays, but... Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I do remember seeing that's a thing. It's a 3D fight. Oh my god. Oh lord. Ooh. Is it good? Is it, like, okay? I mean, I'm not expecting Soul Calibur here, but, like... Is it good? Got Snickers and delay. My goodness. Ayako Mitsuzuri is, to put it mildly, a handful. I'll admit, I'm looking forward to winning myself, so that goes for us both. See. But Mitsuzuri, you can look forward to the future. Don't lose sight of the goal. There's more to our contest than being first to the finish. I know, it's not a real victory unless it's a relationship that makes you green with envy. It's the biggest challenge for us both, though. It doesn't matter how great of a guy he is if we can't bring ourselves to love him. Aiko's sigh is heavy. From what I've heard, she's known as a bit of a misandrist. Can't put too much stock in gossip, though. That she made this bet at all means less that she just doesn't like boys, and more that she hasn't found the right person. It's alright. That aside. Wait, when did this become we? I'll have you know that I'm not an ice queen like you. I'd have no problem liking a boy. Yeah, not buying it. Maybe you just haven't realized it. But I can't imagine you getting soft on a boy. You're always getting asked out. You've never once said yes. You'd think that if you were actually interested, you'd at least date a few. I'd say your records speak for itself. You don't care about boys. You have no imagination at all, do you? What if I already have feelings for someone? Wow, talk about tall tales. But sure, I can appreciate a good romance. Aiko's tone isn't mocking. She nods solemnly. Her sigh tells me that it would be nice if it were true. I don't believe myself. I really can't hide anything from her. So can I. She's right. I know very well how cold I am. We'll concede that I'm a novice when it comes to romance. As you are. Two peas in a pod, right? Damn, it's already 7. Better cut the secret meeting short. Who knows when someone might walk in on us. Time to start acting like students. Oh, look at you. What a social butterfly. It was worth waking up early just to see it. Not as much as the great Rin Tasaka. I'm the David to your Goliath. Your ability to fake being a goody two-shoes at school is practically an alternate personality. Aiko sniffs exaggeratedly. I empty the rest of the teacup she poured me and brew a new pot. So, why not join a club? Don't feed me your usual bull about being unathletic. I still haven't forgotten how you beat me in every fitness test last year. You ran Ultimate Codes at work since you had the board, but it got translated to another or transferred to another store before you decided on it. So instead you have Soul Calibur 3. I mean, to be fair, I think more people would be interested in Soul Calibur 3 than Ultimate Codes, but that is a shame. That's definitely the more unique board. Like, there's no doubt about it. Aw. Almost ran. Okay, gotcha. I understand. Oh. Only sorta? I mean, the fact that it's there at all is awesome. Oh. Dang. Alright. Pop off. Pop off, Inori. You had me beat in lung capacity, though. And weight. Yeah, I gained 3 kilos. Wait. It's nothing to celebrate, damn it. You tricked me. Aiko slaps the table. Careful. You might spill the tea. Shouldn't the club captain be taking better care of the place? Girl, I just spilled the tea. I'm taking a screenshot of that. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Shut it. I'm your rival first and club captain somewhere after that. There's no one else around. You can bet I'm ready to take the fight to you. Ayaka side-eyes me with a huff. Doesn't like the I.O. board. It's gonna... Oh. So it's a fussy board. It's a high-maintenance board. Ooh. Ooh. She has a unique idea about beauty. A beautiful woman must walk the martial path. She's always going on about that. I mean, to be fair, that kind of makes sense. Not surprisingly, she's well versed in most martial arts. Kyudo was the discipline she was least skilled at, so she joined the club and worked her way up to captain. She's probably one of the top 3 people in our school you'd least want to mess with. Should you really be saying that you stopped being a captain if none of your club members are around? Why not? I'm only a captain for show. I can just have the more unruly members take care of any grunt work. Plus, there's better shooters than me anyway. I don't have any captain's honor to defend. That's so. I recall Miss Fujimura saying you were the best they had. Coming from her, that's a bit of an ego boost. But still, she's only saying that because of the guy who left. You're right, though. If Miss Fujimura thinks that much of me, I'd better act like a real captain. That's the spirit. Speak of the devil. Here come your clubmates now. Time for me to go. But make sure you do your part. What? You're not going to watch us shoot? I wouldn't understand it even if I did. It's one thing to watch from afar, but the uninitiated shouldn't loiter in the dojo. Just as I get up to leave, the first club members begin entering the archery range. Good morning, Captain. Oh, morning, Mato. Are you by yourself today? Yes. I'm sorry I couldn't convince him to come. It's fine. If he doesn't want to, there's no point forcing him. Naika speaks to the first club member to arrive. I'll be going then. See you later, Mitsuzuri. Yeah. Later, Tosaka. Have a good day, Tosaka. Thanks. Hang in there, Sakura. The captions just made Sakura's name soccer. Wow, it does not like the word Sakura. Okay, now it gets it. Okay, whatever. My enunciation is not that off, captions. No, I refuse to believe my enunciation is that off. Chat would have called me out by now. Right, chat? You would have called me out by now. Right, chat? Anyway. Thank you, Mirai. Appreciate it. Oh gosh. I leave the dojo behind so as to not get in the way. No? Book! You just like seeing me squirm and suffer. That's what you are, Book. You're an enjoyer of my suffering. I leave the dojo behind so as not to get in the way. Morning, Tosaka. Funny running into you so early. Oh no. Here comes the person I least wanted to see. Good morning, Mato. You're here early. Of course I am. I'm the captain, so I need to set a good example for the first years. Shinji Mato from Class 2C grins at me. He's the vice captain of the Kyudo Club and darling of half the girls at school. It's mostly thanks to his looks, of course. But he's also admired for his good grades, social graces, being kind to girls, and being an overall heartthrob, or something like that. I really don't follow that kind of stuff. It's just what I hear my classmates say. I see. I hate to burst your bubble, but I'm pretty sure you're forgetting an important part of that, Mato. Try to remember next time. Hmm? What's that? Vice. I don't care whether you're captain or vice captain, but if you make a point of leaving it out, people might think it bothers you. Vice captain. You're right. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Tasaka. I'm not sure I did anything you should thank me for, but hey, I'm not going to stop you. With that, I turn to leave the range. Well, hang on. You're here to watch, aren't you? You're more than welcome to stay. Pass. I don't want to interrupt your practice. I don't mind at all. If anyone says otherwise, I'll kick them out. So why don't you stick around? I already said I don't want to intrude. It's not as if I'm particularly interested in Kyudo. I'm not really excited to watch a bunch of people I don't know shooting arrows. What's that, Tasaka? You don't care about Kyudo? Huh? I must just be confused after seeing you watching us after school so many times. I don't know what he's playing at, but he seems to have seriously misunderstood things. So you knew, Mato? Yeah. Our eyes met often, you and I. I saw you watching me. I wanted to call out to you, but you know how it is. I can't raise my voice on the range. Oh lord. Look at this nerd. Look at this dweeb. Look at this absolute dweeb. Look. Shinji starts closing in on me, looking pleased with himself. I see the triumphant glint in his eye competing with that affable smile. Ow! Not me. This loser. I had it wrong all... Okay, I'm fine. I had it wrong all along. I thought you liked watching us shoot, but you aren't interested. Why were you watching then, Tasaka? Ah, now I see. It would sound like that, wouldn't it? Would you mind taking a step back, Mato? I like my personal space. Your tits hit the wrong person. It's okay, Stilton. Your tits can go wherever they need to. Hmm? What was that, Tasaka? Wow. You're still not getting it. This isn't my usual style, but I guess it's what it'll take. Here, I'll make this real simple, so even you can understand. I am even less interested in you than I am in Kyudo. I didn't even know you were in the club, and I doubt I'll remember next time either. What did you just say? I must have touched a nerve, because he tries to grab me roughly. I twist out of his reach and turn to leave. Bye, Mato. Sometimes a little self-consciousness can do you good. Tasaka, you little... Shinji sounds like he's about to say something, but he keeps his temper and doesn't chase after me. The guy is all style, no substance. If he had even a little backbone, the people around him wouldn't suffer nearly so much. I take the rear entrance into campus from the archery range. Yes, suffer. Suffer? Despair? Danganronpa? No, 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 no. It's not. I don't think it's that kind of game. You know what, though? It might be, for all I know. It's past 7 now, but there still aren't students in the hallways. There might not be students in the hallways, but there is a Chubis on the door. You might want to get in on that, Red. You might want to, like, add that to your... I guess not. Hey, it's Tosaka. Good morning, Miss Fujimura. Yep. Good morning to you. I just love how you're so polite to teachers like me. The strange woman pretends to sob in delight. It may be hard to believe, but this extraordinarily affectionate and happy-go-lucky woman is actually a teacher here. Is there another way to say good morning? Sure are. The first years all greet me properly, but once they're upperclassmen, they stop using my surname. Don't follow their example, alright? Oh, I'm not quite sure I understand, but I wouldn't be rude to you. Good girl. Oh, how I wish they could be more like you, Tosaka. With a parting wave and a see ya, Miss Fujimura lives. Lives? I'm taking a drink of water for that one. And correcting my posture on my squeaky chair. Thank you, Stilton. Fortunately, she isn't my homeroom teacher. Miss Fujimura teaches English. Her sunny attitude belies her expert rank in Japanese fencing, kendo. In her student days, they called her the Fuyuki Tiger. That's the mystery, though. You'd think someone known as a tiger would be feared, not adored, right? Miss Fujimura cheerily heads off in the direction of the archery range. For some reason, she's the faculty advisor to the Kyudo Club instead of the Kendo Club. It's just before 7:30. I can see students doing their club activities on the school grounds. There's hardly anyone indoors. Except... Tosaka. He always blurts out my name like I did something wrong every time he sees me. Ah, it isn't the student council president. It's a little early for patrolling campus, isn't it? Or are you maybe fixing up the club rooms? You're diligent as always. Not that I care. And just what are you doing? You're not even in a club, so why are you here so early? I just felt like it. I'm not an early riser like your family, Ryudo. The student council president's handsome face darkens with suspicion. He seems to have it out for me. I really don't know why. Maybe me saying temples are so dull, pass, is what started it. Ya think, Rin? Rin, please. One question for you. Have you been staying late on campus lately, Tosaka? Nope. I'm in the Go Home Club. You know that. Naturally. As the appointed student council president, I'm well acquainted with all of our students' affairs. That's nice. I'm not sure why you bothered asking then. I hope you're not trying to pawn your student council work off on outsiders. Spy on your fellow students yourself. Don't ask me. It's got nothing to do with me. What way are you an outsider? Don't think I haven't noticed the way you used your wiles to get your hooks into our treasure, you vixen. Wow. That was uncalled for. Mitsuzuri just asked me to publicize your club budget allocation. Don't the students have a right to know how their funds are being spent? That's all it was to you, was it? The psychological damage you inflicted on the treasurer made her take an entire week off. I shouldn't be surprised to see just how twisted your ethics are. Look who's talking. You ought to keep your staff on a tighter leash. Not the commercial break. Not the commercial break on this nerd's sighing face. Alright, I'll use this as a bit of a checkpoint for everyone. How are you feeling? Are you enjoying it? Are you having a good time? Is there anything you'd want me to adjust? Let me know. If not live, then in the VOD comments. I really appreciate you sticking around and listening. This isn't really a traditional, like, audiobook kind of thing, because it's interactive and live recorded. But if you want me to, I can put out more content like this, maybe pre-recorded and without any interruption. It's all up to you guys. I really just want to give you guys what most makes sense. Stilton, thank you so much for bringing your chicken into the cafe. Don't think I didn't notice how your chicken got its beak into a coffee pot, you cock vixen? That doesn't even make sense. I'll do better next time. Alright. Take a drink of water and then resume when the ad break is done. Chickens can't peck at the coffee cups. They have to practice proper drinking etiquette if they want to participate in coffee drinking activities. Anyway, welcome back. For reference, that's kind of the theme of the cafe. And by the cafe, I mean the Discord server. Feel free to join if you want. It's a fun place, active. Playing favorites with cultural clubs doesn't seem fair to me. I know that. That's why I was going to audit them myself. Oh. Why doesn't he have a voice? That's a quote. Did they forget to record a line? Why is he muted? What? Maybe he should be muted. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's fixed, he say. Just then, an unexpected visitor makes his presence known. Oh. Sorry, Emiya. You're doing all the work while I'm out here, and I just asked for your help with the repairs. Forgive me. Don't worry about it. Where's the next one? We don't have much time. The AV room, then. The equipment's been acting up for a while, and it finally gave up the ghost. If it's completely broken, I can't fix it. It'd be easier to buy a new one. You're right, but I'd still appreciate it if you take a look. It looks like it's on its deathbed to me, but you might be able to nurse it back to health. Okay, I'll try. Beckoned by the other student, the president leaves. I'd stopped thinking during the sudden turn of events. The other boy, wrench and screwdriver in hand, turns as if he's remembered something. You're early today, Tasaka. He awkwardly mutters, and leaves. Okay, bye. Well, bye? Like, I'm starting to understand why he was muted. Boy can't speak for shit. Damn. Whatever. Pop off. / neg. Was that supposed to be a greeting? The president and the student called Emiya walked off into the distance. That would be Shiro Emiya from Class 2C. I hope that's all it was. How do I put it? The wrench looked right at home in his hands, but I'm not sure if it's because it makes him look tough or handy. At 7:30 a.m., there's nobody else in classroom 2A. I take a seat at my desk and flip through my math workbook. There's still 30 minutes until morning homeroom. I've got time to kill until my classmates start arriving. The classroom is lively as lunch break begins after 4th period. My school has a cafeteria, so only about half of the students stay in the room. It's mostly girls that stay behind. The girls think the cafeteria is a bit too liberal with the seasoning, so... Tasaka, would you like to have lunch with me? We girls tend to enjoy our lunches as a group. I'm sorry, I can't, Saigusa. But thanks for asking. I'll be eating at the cafeteria today. I overslept this morning, so I didn't have time to make lunch. Of course. Sorry for ambushing you with that. Saigusa looks guiltily at her feet. Among the refined and well-behaved students of Class A, she's the most demure. For some reason, she's really nice to me. There's nothing to apologize for. I just didn't have time to make a lunch today. Please, ask me again tomorrow. I let her down as gently as I can, and offer a genuine smile. Oh, okay. So even you sleep in too, huh? Perhaps my smile made her feel better. Saigusa turns back to her table, looking relieved. She's adorable. Yukiko Saigusa isn't drop-dead gorgeous, but her smile always puts everyone around her at ease. It does happen. I don't let it show, but I'm really not a morning person. I can't get up early enough to be in any clubs. Saigusa somehow maintains an elegant air, even when startled. Rin. We need to talk. Rin. You might be a lesbian. That's not a bad thing, obviously. Like, LGBTQ is awesome. You gotta kind of admit to yourself, I think you like girls, Rin. I think you like girls. Hi, Cheese! What am I doing today? Starting another Danganronpa game before finishing the other one? I don't think this is really a Danganronpa game. I don't know if there's nearly as much despair. Everyone can correct me if I'm wrong. But so far it doesn't seem like there's nearly as much despair. It seems like it's just people talking in school. Watching reactions is always so calming. That doesn't mean I have time to just stand here and talk. If I keep up a conversation with someone so disarming, the real me is bound to show herself. I'm off to the cafeteria then. Enjoy your lunch. You too, Tasaka. Saigusa and I exchange some graceful greetings, and she returns to her friends. I see that she's eating with Kaede Makidera and Kane Himuro. Oh, right. Wasn't Saigusa the track and field club manager? Makidera and Himuro are the track and field club's rising stars. This Danganronpa 8 Revenge of the Despair. Alright. Amazing how it came out before the first Danganronpa. That's crazy. Time travel. You know what? I wouldn't put it past it. Nakadera is a bad influence with whom I go window shopping on days off. But I don't know Himuro too well. They planned it all out? I see. Looks like you got dumped, Saichi. Told you that Tosaka didn't bring you lunch. Didn't bring lunch. If you want a hooker, you gotta bring enough food for both of you. Maki, can't we just go to the cafeteria with her too then? Oof. I know the art is like old-fashioned. I get that. This is absolutely a 2000s era visual novel. Nah, it's too cramped in there to share space with us brown baggers. Plus, it's really annoying how the boys stare when you sit next to Sasaka. The last time we hung out, she hogged all the attention. She's an overachiever and all swanky, too. I can't take it! Nakadera takes hold of Sagusa's desk as she continues to rant about me. Despite her foul mouth, she actually wears a kimono really well, like a picturesque Japanese beauty. Makinochi, Lady Tosaka can hear everything you're saying. Meanwhile, Himuro's cool and solid demeanor are a complete foil to that of Makidera. Crap. Did she hear me? But she's totally glaring at me. I don't think she's glaring at you. She's totally shooting lasers. It's the scariest when she's smiling at you. Oh, come on, just let it slide. We're pals, remember? I treated you to taiyaki that one time. Kaede Makidera puffs her cheeks out in a pout, waving her disposable chopsticks in the air. Would you believe that her hobby is collecting wind chimes? The world works in strange ways. At any rate, it's rude to Saigusa to stare at the three of them. Or it's rude to Saigusa to stare at the three of them. I can read, I swear. Caught between me and the foul-mouthed Makidera, Saigusa looks like she doesn't know what to do with herself. It's alright, Saigusa. And Makidera, I was the one who treated you to crepes, not taiyaki. You really ought to fix how often you work in hyperbole. You're gonna go pass out now? Hope you enjoy the game? Thank you very much, Stilton. Don't worry, this isn't gonna be a super long stream. I think I might cut it off at the 2-hour mark. Just because I don't wanna... Tomorrow is the first day of school for a lot of districts, including mine. So I need to get up super early to make sure I get to work through all that traffic. So, don't worry about it. I appreciate you being here. Have a good night. Alright, anyway. Smile scares the daylights out of me. Makidera holds up her lunchbox lid like some kind of shield. I bid the odd trio farewell, leave the classroom, and slide the door closed. Oops. Give me a break. Taiyaki, crepes, what's the difference? They're both sweet things wrapped in carbs. Makidera utters something blasphemous for a girl. She thinks taiyaki and crepes are the same? Is she even human? Are all desserts the same to her? If I'd known that her taste buds can't distinguish Fleur's 500 yen very, very berry from an 80 yen taiyaki at Edomaya. Damn you, Kaede Makidera. I could have saved 420 yen. Wow. What am I actually getting upset for? Still be tired from last night. Cafeteria sounds like a pain, so I'll just buy some bread from the counter and eat on the roof. I purchase my lunch and head to the unoccupied roof. Though it's different in the summertime. During the winter, the roof is a convenient place to eat that other students tend to avoid. It's too cold to hang out here during lunch, but that's a small price to pay for privacy. Time to eat. I indulge in the tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink I bought from the cafeteria. It's a simple lunch, made all the more delicious by the fact that I can enjoy it up here in peace. I finish the sandwich and sip on the worm? I sip on... Who up sipping on their worm? Damn it. Yeah, I'll drink for that. I'll drink to that. Let's try that again, shall we? I finish the sandwich and sip on the warm, lemony drink. Hey, yo, I heard someone doubled an entendre. The worm lemon drink. Y'all ever have a worm lemon drink? Love drinking their worm. Oh. I just want to say a line. No one is stopping me. I'm literally the only person here. I'm not even in a call. There's no... Okay. Let's try this again. I finish the sandwich and sip on the warm, lemony drink. I'm a little tired. It's hard to balance being an overachiever with avoiding human contact as much as possible. It's just what happens when you play attack. I mean, I know you're right. I get that, but like, oof. As the saying goes, one should be accomplished at both the pen and the sword. It's a point of pride. No, conviction that I be the top student of the school. I decided that if I was going to be a student, then I would be the very best. I don't want people looking down on the Tasaka name. The pen is mightier. No. No, both the pen and the sword. There was no pen is. You can't. There's not. No, cheese. No. Nope. That's how Rin Tasaka came to be a perfect, flawless pen 8. Yeah, that's how Rin Tasaka came to be a perfect, flawless student. On the other hand, my occupation as a mage is dangerous, so I shouldn't associate too much with normal people. When a mage is discovered by the public, she has no choice but to eliminate witnesses to protect herself. I'd rather not resort to that. That's why I keep my social interactions purely superficial, out of necessity. I only hang out with Makadera on my days off, and I turn down invitations from more sociable people like Saigusa. It's difficult walking the tightrope of being the #1 student at school while making sure I don't become anyone else's #1. And sure, there are times when it tires me out and I feel like life is a real drag. Oh, it's already time. I finish the hot lemon drink and stand up. It's enough sentimentality for today. Time to go back downstairs and become Rin Tasaka again. Or as the captions like to call her, Written to Soccer. Homeroom is over. Make sure you log your day shifts and lock the doors and windows. If you don't have any club activities, try to get home quickly. Class 2A's teacher gives his usual spiel and leaves the room. As far as I know, he said it exactly the same way all year. Tasaka, are you going home already? Yeah, I had a run with Mato this morning, so I want to leave before it gets out of hand. I figured. He sure had a temper this morning. You must have put him through the ringer. Did he now? Sorry for the trouble. It wasn't really. Nato is always hard on the younger students. It helps them build character. Glad to hear it. I'll make it up to you later. Sure, sure. I hope it doesn't put you off. Stop by again sometime. Class 2A, like My Hero Academia? Probably, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if MHA made it Class 2A for that, but... no, I think it's just... like, it's like high school, cheese. It's like Japanese high school. I make my way home without taking any detours. My time as Rin Tosaka, the honor student, ends once I leave the school. The next half of the day is reserved for the other Mei. Yep, high school like Danganronpa. You're right, cheese. That's exactly it. The next half of the day is reserved for the other Mei. I have to become a mage of the Tosaka. When I arrive back at the house, I'm greeted with the pulsing light of my answering machine. Voicemail? That's rare. Figures. It's Kirei. I have a feeling I know what he's going to say, but I'd better listen or I won't hear the end of it later. I press the play button and hear a familiar male voice. It's me. As I'm sure you're aware, tomorrow is the time limit, Rin. You will have a problem if you procrastinate any further. There are only 2 spots left. I must ensure all the masters are in order, soon. The priest cuts straight to the point. If you plan to forfeit your rights as a master, let me know by today. It will take time to dispatch a substitute mage. Liar. I bet you could find a backup right away. You've already shown signs of a command spell. Promptly summon your servant. Bind them to it. There's only 1 bill left. Our rappers screaming in our ears like we're deaf. You're right, you're right. Of course, it's a different discussion if you choose not to take part in the Holy Grail War. If you fear for your life, then come to the church with all due haste. The voicemail ends. Wow. This guy sounds amazing at parties. He sounds like he knows what a good time is like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. It was a clear message in simple language. If you're going to fight, then be ready by today. If you aren't, then retire, because you're in the way. I don't need you to tell me that. It's only to be expected, I guess. Today's the last day I can drag this out. Thankfully, I managed to decipher Father's notes yesterday. My battle preparations are in order. All that's left is to seize the right to participate, as he said. The Holy Grail War. A fight to the death over a single chalice. A ritual that's gone on for centuries. The mages who take part in the Holy Grail War are called Masters. The only Rin Tosaka memes I know are about as blue as it gets. I got you, I got you. It doesn't denote a rank of any kind. It merely describes their role. There's a condition to participate in the Holy Grail War. You must summon a familiar called a servant and form a contract with them. Regardless of your skills as a mage, you are not recognized as a master unless you command a servant. There's a clear difference between servants and normal familiars. You weren't paying attention what the fuck is this game about? Magic, actually. And, war over the Holy Grail. The way you summon and use them are different. Mages who plan to fight in the Holy Grail War prepare summoning catalysts, but I wish Father had left me something with a connection to a saber. Nope. I don't own any relics with a connection to a servant. I can summon one, yes. Yes, so the original version of this game... Yeah, so the original release of this game was an eroge kind of thing. But the release that everything is based on has those parts removed and replaced with honestly better written material that isn't sexy times. Yeah. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because, like, the writing on it was apparently very, very, very bad. I got so close that my camera lost track of me. Oh my god, seriously? That's where that comes from? No, it's really bad. Like, it's really, 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 really bad. Like, it's not good. Like, there are memes of it because of... Yeah, exactly. So, instead, you know, why not take advantage of the strengths of the game by, you know, actually focusing on the plot. Like, the actual plot, not the meme plot. Yeah. I can summon one, yes. In fact, I could do it right now if I wanted to, as well as form a contract. This town's ley lines are under the jurisdiction of the Tosaka. I'm the heir to a clan that's administered the land for generations, so my performance will not take a backseat to some visiting mage. Although, while that is true, it'd be awfully incompetent of me to embark on a figurative voyage without a compass. Servants are drawn to symbols. To summon a powerful servant, one needs a symbol with a connection to that servant. In other words, I'd need some outrageously valuable item, like a sword or piece of armor that servant owned, or maybe a bone or heraldry related to them. I had such big hopes for Father's will. No, he still did leave me a serious trump card. The pendant I discovered in the basement last night is an ancient artifact of the highest quality. It's amazing all on its own. Is Gundam gonna show up at some point? This is not Danganronpa. I do not think there's going to be any 4 Dark Days of Destruction. No, his Chinibyo act is played completely straight here. It's amazing all on its own. Still, it won't help me summon a servant. Fine. I don't need to rely on something like that to figure this out. To begin with, I doubt there's any master more qualified to handle Saber than I am. Alright. I've made up my mind. I'd rather not get another earful, and waiting until the last minute doesn't sit right with me. Now the real challenge begins. Tonight, I'm going to summon a servant while I'm at peak condition, and acquire Saber by force. Late night. The clock reads almost 2 a.m. This is the period where everything lines up. My condition peaks at 2 a.m. sharp. Did Rin maybe forget that her clocks are an hour ahead? Did she set them? Rin, did you fix your clocks? Rin. Oh, this is gonna go very well, I'm sure. In terms of limits, this will be my first and last chance, so I can't afford even the slightest mistake. Withdrawal within elimination. Engrave 4 circles of withdrawal. Surround them with a summoning circle. There. I inscribe magic circles into the floor of the basement. Actually, it doesn't take a major avocation to call forth a servant. Servants are invited by the Holy Grail. Masters anchor them to the world and supply the magical energy to materialize them, but the servants are the ones who choose to respond to the summons. For the elements, silver and iron. For the foundation, stone and the Archduke of Pacts. For the ancestor, my great master, Schweinorg. Raise a wall for the wind that shall fall. Close the gates of the four directions. Come forth from the crown and follow the forked road leading to the kingdom. And wait at this circle for a while because there's an ad break. Woo! Yeah! Let's go! Sorry about that. Twitch ads are, as everyone knows, quite fun. And someone said hi on YouTube. Hi. Sorry about the late response. Oh, that is an hour and a half late. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Just in time, alright? I need to get a multi-monitor setup. Oof. Alright. I'll take a drink for now. We'll get on this. Give me a chance to catch my breath. Remember, if you want to break from the ads on Twitch, make sure you use your Amazon Prime complimentary sub, or consider Twitch Turbo, or a paid sub. But only if you can afford any of those things. There is no pressure. And welcome back. Still, I need to keep cautious and focus. Magic circles are normally drawn with blood, but tonight I draw mine with melted jewels. I'm using up half of the jewels I've accumulated over my lifetime, so I'll never financially recover from this if it fails. Fill. 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 Eat 5 times. But when each is filled, destroy it. It's almost 2 a.m. I finish drawing the summoning circle, pass down through the Tosaka line, and face it with all my being. Set. I flick a formless switch within myself. With a click, I feel my insides turn over to something else. My normal nerves invert and become circuits for conducting magical energy. Rin Tosaka is no longer human. She's just a component in the execution of mystics. I melt from my fingers. Flashing light warning, the hell? No, I'm filled up from my fingers. The mana I'm taking in is so dense, it overwrites my bodily sensations. That's why I'm being destroyed at the same time I'm being filled. Okay, stop flashing. Sorry about that. Running through my body is the power, mana, from the atmosphere. I convert it into a different type of energy through my body's circuits. A mage's body is nothing but circuits. Circuits to connect the ethereal to the material. The mystical outcome we produce is what we call magecraft. My body grows hot. It seems like horns are growing from my forehead. It seems like wings are sprouting from my back. It seems like scales are covering my hands. It feels like there's water pooling around my ankles. Sweat drips. Stab. Stab. Swords pierce my body. These are the stigmata that project my body, which becomes a circuit. No matter how gifted a mage is, we're only human. In a human body, the pain is something we must live with whenever we use magecraft. The cycle doesn't let up. Beyond the agony, deep within the trance, lies the mental state necessary for connection. Pain wriggles in my left arm. To aid the caster, My magic crest autonomously begins an incantation, invading my nervous system. The mana in the atmosphere I've taken in turns to blood. It's like molten lead, while my activated magic crest resembles thorny nerves. With a crunching sensation, it creeps throughout my body like a thorny centipede. In the hurt, I forget myself. At the same time, I can feel it taking hold of me, like I've reached where I need to go. My hypersensitive hearing picks up the ticking clock in the parlor. The one that you totally remember to fix from being an hour behind or ahead, right? That ticking clock, right? Right, Rin? 10 seconds left until 2 a.m. The power filling my body is unquestionably complete. Flashing lights again. My words. Time to begin. I convert the mana I've collected into magical energy for fixation. All that's left is to feed all that energy into the engine, its summoning circle, until my body runs dry. Heed my words. My will creates your body, and your sword creates my destiny. You heed the Grail's call and obey my will and reason. Then answer me. My vision goes dark. What lies before me now is the fifth factor, said to be imperceptible to the naked eye. My vision shuts off on its own, fearing what it might see. I hereby swear, I shall be all the good in the world. I shall defeat all evil in the world. 7 heavens clad in 3 great words of power. Come forth from the circle of binding, guardian of the scales. That went off without a hitch. It feels so perfect. It's like I'm reeling in a whale with a fishing rod. Flawless. I'm positive I just drew the strongest card. Can't wait for my vision to return. It'll take a few more seconds, but when it does, I'm sure the strongest servant will be nowhere in sight. Huh? Nothing's there. The room doesn't look different at all. I spun that much in ether into this ritual only for absolutely nothing to materialize. On top of that, I think I just heard something explode in the parlor. Why? I bolt. My head's empty at this point. I just run. I race up the stairs from the basement. The door's broken? The door to the parlor is askew off its hinges. There isn't any point in turning the doorknob. And since it won't open whether I push or pull... Damn it! Move, you stupid thing! I kick it down and burst into the room. And the moment I enter the parlor, everything becomes clear. Everything is in tatters. Rubble is strewn across everything, as if something has fallen through the ceiling. On top of it all sits a man cocking his head arrogantly. Is that arrogant, or... He must be some kind of criminal. But something graver draws my attention. The grandfather clock, having escaped destruction, tells the time precisely. Now I remember. Right. Of course. The clocks were an hour ahead today, weren't they? Which means it's 1 a.m. Still a full hour left until I'm in peak spellcasting form. I screwed up again. I can complete tasks as well as anybody else, but suffer from the curse of my genetics. And it really counts. I somehow managed to bungle things on an unbelievable level. What's done is done. Just gotta learn from this. Can't believe my own stupidity. Still irritated, I direct my glare at the man lounging haughtily on the rubble. So, who are you? That's the first thing out of your mouth? I seem to have been dealt a truly ridiculous master. The man in the red mantles shakes his head in a show of exasperation. To add insult to injury, he mutters something about drawing the short straw. Oh. Now I'm dead certain. This guy has a messed up personality. Is this... servant? I thought familiars were shapeless beings, but this is just a man. No, not just a man. Even from here, I can tell that it's brimming with a shocking amount of magical energy. Don't be fooled by its appearance. I'm staring at something that's undoubtedly more than human. It's a human-shaped ghost that's on the level of an elemental. This is no time to be dumbstruck. That thing belongs to me. I need to get my head in the game. Just checking. But you are my servant, right? That's what I wanted to ask. Are you even my master? I've never been summoned so violently before. And honestly, I'm still struggling to get my bearings. It's my first time too. I'm not answering questions like that. I see. But you weren't here when I was summoned. Care to explain why? Are you serious? You're no baby bird. Don't joke that you can't decide who to serve if they aren't there when you open your eyes. The unidentified servant frowns and a grunt escapes his lips. Maybe he didn't like the way I said it, though he has a mixed reaction, as if still impressed by the logic in my words. Whatever. What I'm asking is if you're my servant, and no one else's. I don't have to answer any of your questions until we make that clear. This is what I get after a failed summoning, huh? I believe there's something else you should be saying. There isn't. In a master-familiar relationship, this is the first detail we need to hash out. The servant's eyebrow twitches. He isn't even bothering to hide his dissatisfaction with me. I wonder if it's because of the half-baked summoning. You want to clarify who serves whom. At least you know how to run your mouth, even if you've failed at everything else. Sure, I agree with that opinion. We ought to make clear who's strong and who's weak, or else it'll make this dynamic difficult. The servant eyes me meaningfully, still relaxing on the rubble of my living room. Who's weak? Yeah, I'm a servant, and I'll acknowledge that I serve my summoner. But that's only how it is on paper, wouldn't you say? We still need to establish who's superior, and whether you're worthy to fight alongside. On that point, are you a mage worthy of my service, little girl? The servant smirks. First he destroys my house and acts like he's king of the castle, and now he has the nerve to ask whether I'm worthy. I didn't ask for your opinion. I only asked if you're my servant or not. I repeated myself, stealing my gaze. I'm not going to back down from this condescending jerk. I see. You won't even deign to answer such an obvious question. At least you've got spirit. You can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? Like I said, you're getting ahead of yourself. It's the summoner's duty to confirm this first. Now answer me. Are you my servant or not? I step forward aggressively, ready to pounce depending on his answer. Such a stubborn girl. We'll get nowhere at this rate. Very well. For discussion's sake, let's assume that I'm your servant. In that case, are you my master? Hypothetically speaking, of course. But obviously, you're the servant I summoned, so who else would it be? I glare at this rude man, giving my seething head a moment to cool down. Well, I suppose I would be, hypothetically. Then, where's the proof that you're my master? The servant blithely asks, smirking all the while. He's clearly trying to goad me with these questions into losing my temper. Right here. This proves that I'm your master. I show him the command spells on my right hand. I don't think I was born yesterday. Father's told me enough that I know what command spells are, at least. Good enough for you yet? Any other complaints? I thrust the symbols at him in challenge, but the lounging servant rolls his eyes. Ugh. Are you serious right now, girl? His face darkens, looking even more disgruntled. What do you mean? I'm talking about the way you think. Command spells automatically make you my master. They're merely tools to compel a servant. Can't believe you think flaunting some symbols is enough to play master. What I want to see is whether you deserve my loyal service. Oof. That makes sense. But normally you'd think of command spells if someone asked for proof you're a master, right? What? You think I'm unqualified to be your master? I wish that were the case. But unfortunately, your command spells show that you summon me. As hard as it is to believe, you appear to be my master. He shrugs in mock exhaustion. Uh-oh. I've reached my boiling point, and I'm not going to cool down in time. Hardly satisfied, but I'll concede the point. For now, you're my master, but I have conditions. I'm not going to do what you say. I'll decide the direction of battle, and you'll act as I see fit. This is the greatest concession I can give you. I'm sure you don't mind, girl. Sorry, Father. I'm at my limit. Okay. You're saying you'll recognize me even though you don't like it, but you'll ignore my opinions? Aren't you supposed to be my servant? I ask in a trembling voice. After our spat over the command spells, this is my last desperate attempt at a dialogue. And yet... Yes, technically. Therefore, I will obey you, in theory. But I'm the one who will be fighting. You can just hide underground in your house and behave until the Holy Grail War is over. That way, even a novice like you will survive. He's looking down on me, declaring that he expects nothing from me. Did I make you angry? Of course. I respect your position. I was summoned to bring my master victory, after all. My victories will belong to you, as will any spoils of war. You hardly have anything to complain about. Oh, you can't even use those command spells. Just leave the rest to me, and worry about your own skin. I've had it with you! Fine, if that's how it's going to be, then I'll use them. Set. No more mercy. I've got nothing else left for a jackass like this. But don't tell me. That's exactly what you're thinking, you dirtbag. I hereby invoke my command spell. In accordance with the laws of the Holy Grail, bind my servant in absolute obedience. Wait, you lost your mind, Master? You would waste a command spell on something like this. Shut up. You're my servant, get it? That means you absolutely have to do what I say. The emblem on my right hand aches. 3 command spells. They allow a master to issue 3 unbreakable commands to their servants. Did you even think this through? You use a command spell in such a vague order. It's too late to whine now. I didn't expect this to happen either. I want to die of self-loathing. I can't believe I just burned one of my precious command spells on a petty squabble. After that, I retreated from the ruins of the parlor and went to my bedroom. Before me stands the servant whom my command spells compelled absolute obedience from. Supposedly, anyway. Yep, 1 more minute for the 2-hour mark, so once we get to a stopping point, I will stop. I see. I more or less have you figured out, Master. Who would call this absolute obedience? Just to be clear, do you understand how critical command spells are, Master? Sure I do. They let me order my servant around 3 times. What about it? Listen, command spells let you force a servant into action. You can use them not only to stop actions, but also strengthen actions. For example, normally I can't come to you instantly from a distant location, but if you order me to with your command spell, it's possible as long as it's something that is attainable with our magical energies. That's what the power of forced compliance means. Not even we servants can resist. Your command spells are 3 crystallizations of grand mage crafts that can make us overcome our bodily limits. Though, you're down to 2 now. I know that! So what? I still have 2 more, and it's not like the first order was wasted on you. You're right. I did miscalculate. The more vague an order is, the more the power of a command spell diminishes. They're weaker on long-lasting broad commands like protect me until the end or win this war for me. The compulsion will be sustained, but there will be servants who can resist the minor pain of disobedience. On the other hand, singular commands like unleash your next attack at all costs, or do not break that glass are absolute, and even powerful servants will find it difficult to defy them. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, Master? Yes. You're saying that vague commands are pointless. If the effect and restriction are both weak, then servants can act against their command spells. It's better to use them on a simple, straightforward order, rather than something abstract. That's correct. A command spell is meant to cause miracles beyond our own means. It's unforgivably foolish to spend them on a task that can be executed by other means. That goes doubly for the way I used it earlier. You could have verbally persuaded me to obey you, and even 100 command spells would have failed to enforce absolute obedience. So, you're saying it was all for nothing? Normally, that would be the case. But it appears that you are an outstandingly talented mage. Is he shocked or happy? My servant's lips twitch upward, even as he sighs. By outstanding, you mean... Hang on. Tell me honestly what your condition is like right now. The implication dawns on me, and I ask him eagerly. That was my miscalculation. Your command should have resulted in a change of heart that would make me want to respect your opinions slightly more. But I can feel a strong compulsion from your every word. If I voice an objection, let me think. It's as if my defiance would weaken me. In other words, my body will grow heavy, making it difficult to move if I defy my master's will. My servant shrugs in resignation. So he's saying that my command spell wasn't a waste, but an actual benefit. He's still being as sarcastic as ever, so it doesn't seem to have had any effect. Besides, even if he's weakened, I doubt even 10 of me could resist if he decided to rebel against me. Allow me to project my previous statement, Master. You may be young, but you are superior mage. It was my mistake for underestimating you as a child and trying to keep you out of the fight. I apologize for my rudeness. The servant straightens his posture and gives me a formal bow. Wait, hold on. I know we said a lot of things to each other, but it's not like we need to make up after... Is that so? Good. I'm glad you're so understanding. Really quick on the uptake, aren't you? I indeed miscalculated. But this must be what they call a happy accident. I have no qualms bringing a mage of your talents into the war. Huh? Is this his roundabout way of saying I'm a strong master? So, you'll recognize me as your master, even without the command spells? Of course. I'm still getting my bearings after the summoning earlier, but we're now completely connected. As a mage, you should be able to feel the bond of our pact. Our pact? Now that he mentions it, something does feel weird about my body. It's as if my closed-off nerves are now connected to the outside. Specifically, I can feel a portion of my magical energy flowing to the man before me. Oh. The Holy Grail calls us servants, but masters keep them in the world. Yes, that's your power as a master. You supply your servant with magical energy so that they can remain in the world. And my supply is adequate. I have concerns about your inexperience, but your powers make up for it. A common mage would probably faint the second they summon a servant. Yet you're standing here, full of life. Considering the command spell you used earlier, your energy capacity unquestionably makes you a master of the finest caliber. Flattery won't get you anywhere. I break eye contact out of embarrassment. Well, I didn't see this coming. I know the command spell is making him obey me, but still. This superhuman servant is sincerely acknowledging me as his master. So, which servant are you? I clear my head and return to business. You can't tell by looking. Very well then. I take it all back. He's definitely making fun of me. Fine, then I'm asking you as your master. Hey, aren't you a saber? Unfortunately, I am not equipped with a sword. Suspected as much. That's all said and done. I got the time wrong. My summoning circle didn't do its job, and my servant was spat out into some random room. It was far too sloppy of a ritual to summon the strongest servant, Saber. You really botched this time. I'll never live down failing to pull Saber after spending that many gems. Sorry, I'm not Saber. Huh? Well, sure, it's a painful mistake, but I'm the only one who screwed up. Yes, I bet you think Archer isn't a very attractive class. Alright, I'll make you eat those words. When the time comes, I won't be taking any apologies. What? What a surprise. The unidentified servant seems to be sulking. Maybe my fixation on Saber offended him. That strike a nerve, Archer? It did. Just you watch. I'll show you how lucky you are to have me. So for reference, let me take a drink real quick while there's an ad playing. As far as I'm aware, there are several different classes. One of them is the Saber class, and this one's the Archer class. But that's separate from their identity. But so far all we know is that he's an archer. Or the archer for this war. Archer retorts with a sidelong glance. He has a really spiteful air about him. That reaction felt somehow childish and free of malice. You know, you might be a pretty decent guy. Okay, make sure I regret what I said, Archer. I'll apologize from the bottom of my heart if so. You better remember that, Master. You'll be grateful once you learn how capable I am. Of course, an apology might not satisfy me at that point. Archer huffs, even as his lips twist into a grin. Oh yeah, this one's got a rotten personality, all right. Fine. Anyway, you're a heroic spirit, so where's your legend originally from? Archer doesn't answer. His sardonic expression is replaced by a deepening frown. Archer? Your master just asked you a question. It's a secret. What? I can't tell you where I'm from, because... Hey, I'll get mad if you give me a lame excuse. Well, there's that face again. Archer opens and closes his mouth as if he's having trouble voicing an uncomfortable truth. Because... I don't know. Wait, what? Huh? Are you making fun of me again? I don't mean to insult you, but it must be because of the imperfect summoning. My memories are jumbled. I know who I am, but my name and origins are a haze. Still, it isn't valuable information, so there's no need for concern. Of course I'm concerned. If I don't know which heroic spirit you are, then how am I supposed to know how strong you are? And what's the problem? That's a trivial question. There you go again. How am I supposed to form a strategy if I can't tell how strong my partner is? We can't fight a war like this. What do you mean? I'm the servant that you summoned. Naturally, that makes me the strongest. Look at his goofy face. Goofy, Sure, he's strong, but like, goofy. Goofy. This guy has memory loss like that one guy from that one game. You're right. It's so straightforward. The Crimson Knight fixes me with a gaze full of confidence and trust. What? My brain grinds to a halt. There's no deception in Archer's words. He's sincerely giving me more credit than I deserve, even though we've just met. My cheeks are burning. Ugh, I'm sure I'm blushing bright red right now. Surprise attacks like this tend to be my weakness. Fine then. At least nobody else knows who you are. They say you have to fool your allies to fool your enemies. I turn away from Archer to hide my embarrassment. I'm sure I'll figure this out in due time, or I'll figure out in due time what sort of servant he is anyway. For now, we have other priorities. Okay. I won't ask about your identity for the time being. Then, Archer, here's your first job. Jumping straight to it, are we? Guess you're an aggressive type. Where's the... Before you can say enemy, I toss a broom and dustpan at him. Hmm? Go clean up the mess you made downstairs. A few seconds pass in stunned silence. When Archer finally regains his senses, he grips the broom indignantly. Wait. What exactly do you think a servant is? Not familiar, right? A little uppity and hard to deal with, though. Archer cuts himself off. I have no intention of letting him off, and if he tries to weasel out of it, I still have a card to play. I object. I refuse to... Are you sure? This is a direct order from your master. I thought you said you'd feel weighed down if you went against me. It's too bad if that's too much for you to handle. The penalty will continue until the parlor is clean, you know. Won't that pose a risk to you when we start fighting tomorrow? He stands there for several more seconds with broom in hand, grumbling under his breath. And so, the archer in red mantle closes his eyes. Understood. Go to hell, master. Alright, no, don't worry. This is the end of the stream, and gracefully accepts my order. No worries. Thanks for being here, Cheese. Now then, it's getting late, so I should rest. I can decide how to deal with him once I wake up. The fateful day draws to a close. No, rather, my fate was shaped by this night. That makes 6, including me. Once the 7th and final master summons their servant, the Holy Grail War of this generation will begin. In the not-so-distant future, the battle I've been waiting 10 long years for is about to commence. Alright, and that was the beginning of Fate's Day Night. And we're still in the prologue, by the way. We are still in the prologue. Wild, huh? Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I'll, get us someone to raid. Let's go ahead and raid Koyurika. Yep. You think other people here may voice act in the future? If you want, because I know I kind of went a little crazy with it, but since it's just the prologue, it's not a big deal. I'll see if I can get anyone interested in it. If people are interested in voice acting for Fate, I would love for having people. Love to have people, even. Wow. So, yeah. I'll see about it. Let your voice be heard. Thank you for being here, Dutch No, Boots, Cheese, Mirai if you're still here, Cello, and everyone that was lurking. I really appreciate it. Here are the raid messages. First one's for subs, second one's for everyone else. Let's go ahead and give Koyuriko our best cafe welcome. She's currently playing Once Human. I can't feel my face. You just threw a bunch of objects at me. Thank you, Dutch Now, for the Careless Whisper and 3D Barrage. Alright. Let's go ahead and say hi to Koyuriko. And I will see you all next time. Thank you again.